The next story that I'm going to tell you is the creepiest moment in my life. I'm sure that I'm lucky after all happened. I'm sure that as my psychologist, you could understand that this is not easy to tell you this story. My wife insisted for so much time to get here. I will have got a new job, and a requirement is to have a great mental and physical health. Then I'm here. 10 years ago, my parents left me alone in my house. Newspapers will have been announcing an alert of a serial killer that murdered more than 30 victims in less of a month. He or she should be looking for victims, young victims to be exact. Not being enough, it will have been gotten worse. My parents will have left about 8 p.m. for the day. Then I told them I was afraid of being alone with that Matt Free in the streets. Before they left, I went out to take leave of my parents. Someone strange was in an old Mustang in front of my neighbor's parking. Inside of the car, it was a man. I told my parents that it could be the serial killer. My dad only laughed, telling me that it would be a visit of my neighbor so I wouldn't take care about the man. Convinced that I would be okay, my father went to dinner with my mother and friends. I remembered that everything was normal. Everything would be normal, and I will have been lunching before sleeping when I listened to that hour an ice cream car. I thought obviously it was weird listening an ice cream car at 10 p.m. I closed the drapes, I sat in my couch, turned on the TV with my dog down my legs. I slept an hour with the TV on, before waking up, after listening weird things at the entrance of my house and my dog barking. I quickly watched through the behold and seeing a weird man using a mask and knife in his hand with him. Frightened, I ran to my room with my dog. Silence gripped of my house. I started gasping so quickly, the dog get close to the door as a guardian. My heart started beating so fast. I watch across the window of my room carefully. Nobody's still there. Nervous of my decision, I took my Swiss knife in my hand and get back to the door to confirm that the man wasn't there. I looked again through the behold and no one was there. I thought that I will have got crazy if I continued worried about the serial killer. Then I went to the switch of the entrance and turned the lights on out of my house, the worst mistake I had ever done. I looked again through the behold and everything was normal when suddenly the man appeared and started hitting the door. Incredibly, he starts hitting more and more and even more the porch's door with more strength as he tried to overthrow the door. I started running when I have realized that he wants to get into my house. In a moment, he stopped hitting the door. I got closer and listened across the door. I listened my neighbors shouting to the madman. He didn't realize that he was a madman and a murderer. I looked through the behold and watched how this man killed my neighbor. He got near the corpse to the door, the blood dripping of the corpse stepped down the door. He throws out flint to the window and getting a chainsaw to broke the wood that was left in the window. After all that, I quickly to the living room and took my phone. I called to 911 and the woman told me what was happening. I was paranoid. She said that I would be kept calm and should be describing what happened. I quickly said that a madman killed my neighbor. He left his body in my door and threw out flints to my window, and if it was not enough, he was trying to enter my house. I didn't know what was happening, what this man was doing this. The simple explication for me was the serial killer. He should put the eyes on me when my parents leave. He was the man that was in the old Mustang, waiting for my parents left. Editing was difficult, I was sure. The women told me that I would be close to the phone. The madman entered my house, the dog tosses to him and attacked. The man hit my dog and hurt it. He was after me to kill or whatnot. I'm sure I'm not would be taking the best part. I closed the door with key, making sure that I would be safe. The murder started hitting and wrecking all the doors that has in front of him, so I got into a secret entrance that I had in my closet. It was difficult to find it. Even my parents didn't know about the existence of that part of the house. I start gasping again. I tried to close my mouth to don't make any sound. When he finally would have been realized that I was in my room, he wrecked my door and looked for me. Since that moment I would be traumatized for being locked in small places. He broke everything. He thought that I wasn't there. When he had come back to left the body of my old neighbor. The police have come. He was surrounded. He had no other option to escape across the windows to get free. But I made a noise. He listened that I were in my closet. He opened it and started to find out where I was hiding. He started shouting that it was funny to play hide and seek with me. When he finally found me, he used me as a hostage. I don't know how, but my dog in his last forces he bites him in a leg. He left me and the police shoot him as last resource. When I knew that he was already gone, I started crying. It was 12:32 a.m. My parents believed that I was waking up, but they were wrong. When the police recognized this man, they told me his name at the police station was called Frank J. Cox. He